All right, sorry. This is part two. I'm having a lot of the issues with my phone, but I don't get frustrated anymore about these things. They use this moment to try to make me subscribe. It's funny. It's like, no, we're doing this for our baby. But in the last part, I was talking about this kid where they were trying to make me look at this kid in a sexual way, and even now they're still trying. So I'm watching this video, right? And on the side here, you see this kid, which is definitely a teenager. Now they're trying to make me look at this kid in a sexual way. This is it's a kid. It's a very much a kid. I don't know if you can see it. And let me see if you can zoom in. And I could tell already from afar that was a child. But they tried to make me look at this kid's legs and try to make me perceive her in a sexual way. Even now, they try to make me look at this kid's butt. Now, this is because they're forcing me. They try to make you look at kids in a they don't try. They force you to perceive children in this sexual way. This kid is maybe the more I zoom on on this kid, the younger she looked like. She looked like a 13-year-old baby. She's a baby. And from like initially, this is what you see, right? You don't see much. You see somebody in the back. You see, this is probably a kid. Then you zoom in. I was like, I knew she was a kid, but like when you zoom in, you see how much of a kid she's. Like a baby. Might not even be a teenager. And that's not the first time. And they're trying to force you to perceive. Right now in my head, you know what they're trying to do? They're trying to make me think of this other kid who might be a little bit older now that I look at the closer the picture. Because at first I thought this kid looked older because of her height. Like she looks taller, and they'll make me think of another kid that they made me look at in the sexual. The squirrel, I call her. But because this kid, the other one was more compressed, she looked younger from afar. But she's about maybe a year older than this kid, a year or two. But she's like a compressed little version of this kid. But they were making me look at this kid in a sexual way, make me look at her legs, and try to get me to perceive this baby, which I'm gonna show again. And they're making nose campaign every time I talk about it in a sexual way. Right now, I have intense stimulations by them. Like I said, the sexual arousal. It was so bad that it took maybe an hour after for this intense stimulation to happen. They cranked it up. The nastiness. Let me show you what they crank up. They crank up these things, these nasty manipulations, and I don't mind going back and forth and
Relate the target. It can make the target feel sexual arousal, or it can sort of turn off the target's sexuality altogether.
they can turn on the sexual arousal, and it's disgusting. So they did that toward this kid. On top of the perception manipulation, even now, if I don't even want to, because it's just too much. But on this kid, stimulated me to the nth degree. It's crazy, and then they manipulate my perception to have this perverted perception of this kid, to try to look at her in a way I would look at a woman, this baby. And it's so hard because like her baby face is just too much that even when I try to do it off, it just thankfully she has such a baby face that it's just so hard for them to complete it. But they're trying to like her legs, but the baby face kind of helps out stop them from forcing me to look at this kid in a sexual way. So your brain is pushed to perceive things in such a disturbing ways, and that's because I also zooming and make it look. But look this, and they try to make me look at this kid's legs and try to think of this kid's leg in a sexual way. And they're like, and you hear the perps trying to make you accept this, repeating, no, there is this you. There. No, there are these manipulations, which include the sexual stimulations and the perceptions, which, like you're right, they are those tactics of disturbing somebody. Of course, I will not have anything sexual stimulating toward this kid, but you're forcing me to look at this kid in a sexual way. And what you're doing is try to find ways to make me perceive this kid in a sexual way, but make me look at her the way I would look at a woman. The way they do it is they find ways of, okay, what part of this kid can we make him think in the way he would think of a woman? They try to make me look at this kid's leg. Okay, he likes voluptuous women. Okay, can we make this kid like have some perception? Like, it's just disgusting. That's their job. And they want you to feel guilty. It's like, oh, what? No, no, no. I would never, 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 never look at this baby in this sexual way. But you have pushed me to look. You're forcing me to perceive this kid in a sexual way. There's not anything womanly about this kid, but they're trying to force me to look at this kid in a womanly way. And the way they're doing it is because she's not like a skinny girl, right? She's not like a tiny. I like women that have voluptuousness. And so they try to make me see her chubby legs, or her kind of like, not chubby, but like the fact that she doesn't have like skinny legs, and try to make me imagine a woman with somewhat of volume. It's disgusting. And they're like, oh, they are, you see. No, and then sometimes they get frustrated that I'm able to express how they're trying to manipulate me. Like, I should be ashamed about how they're trying to make me look at this kid, because I should feel like guilty for them forcing me to perceive kids in this way. This is what they do. And they keep in the repetition, which is another thing they do. They use repetition systematically to force you to accept this. But because there are so many validations in regard of how they manipulate you, I cannot subscribe to it. So when I look at this kid, and you think that I will ever have natural feelings toward this kid or stimulations, it's what you're delusional. And they play with perception, try to create different perception of this kid. They're disgusting. But that's what they do, and that's what they're capable of doing. But it doesn't end here. So slowly it gets to like older kids. This is now a prom girl, a girl going to prom. Now, I'm friends with somebody on Instagram who does dresses. This is her. This is a girl going to prom. Now this is a little bit of, is going to, this kid is going to prom. So she's a kid, but maybe like just turned adult, or maybe just about to be an adult. So it becomes less harder for them to create. But still, I know this is not me. Even though the dress is revealing, they try to make me look at it in a, let me see, in a sexual way, because she has a dress that is somewhat revealed. Kids nowadays, they dress a certain ways, and this dress is revealing, so they try to make me look at her in a sexual way and make me, like, try to get me to be into her. It's a nice dress, good for her. Like, but I will never be like, oh my gosh, who is she? I'm interested. No, but good for her. You look great for her prom dress. But if they can do that to the baby in the background, of course they can do more with this, because she's closer to adulthood. If not, she's already probably an adult, but still a kid. And it doesn't end here. The way they even play with you is deeper. That's when you know the mind game is on another level. To make you accept to this and to create the matches, then when you look at a woman, an actual woman that you would be, perhaps you find attractive, or you will be stimulated toward, they create these stimulations that are similar to what they've done toward children. So this obviously women, right? Attractive women, good-looking women, right? But they force you to get those same stimulation. I do even toward these women, I will not have this stimulation they make me have. But because they want to match these feelings with somebody, they're like, oh, you see, we matched it. We matched those feelings. Because they force you to have the same feelings that you have toward children. They force you to have the same feeling toward children that you will have toward, they match it to the point where the they match those nasty pedophilia feelings, stimulation, to a woman, to say, oh, we matched it.